So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm an expressive art therapist, and I've studied with Dr. Natalie Rogers first, and I got my certificate of person-centered expressive arts. And after that, I went to the European Graduate School and did my PhD with Paula Neal and, at EGS. And then I published a book that the other section of EGS published, which is about art and philosophy, and it's here. You can see it in case you're interested in reading philosophical books.
Can you hold it again? Can you hold it again so
Oh, sorry.
you see it a little bit to that side? Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So it's in the Atropos Press, yeah, at EGS. That is their publisher in Dresden and New York. Okay. All right. So today we're going to first get your object, your crystal or your wood. And what we are thinking about is the fact that this object, this crystal, this wood, whichever you have, yes, has been, on the earth and has traveled the earth, since it first came into the earth. And it has been changed by its journey on earth. Some of the objects you have, I mean, this has been all over the oceans. I don't know exactly where it went, but who knows, maybe all around the world. And some of the objects have been molded by humans that I saw. Um, so they have that characteristic similar to us. We also came into the earth. Yeah. And then we have a history that has molded us in some way, that has happened. And yet it didn't destroy us. We're still here. And so is this. Even though sometimes we have hardships that we've gone through. But look at us, we're still here. I mean, look at this wood. Who knows what happened? Why isn't it completely destroyed? Well, it has a strong base that is still here, just like we do. Now, as human beings, we also have another thing going on, which is that we have like a mental story, like a sustaining story that is about who we are, and it's probably something that came in your childhood. At some point you heard a story, and many times the stories that we hear, we interpret in our own way. In my case, I heard the story of the forming of the mountains around the city where I was born, because I'm from the Andes Mountains of Venezuela. The story was about the formation of the mountains. It was not about the courage of this girl. But I happened to pick up on that. That was what I wanted, what I took from the story. And then when she finally got up there, and she was so brave that she reached out to one of the eagles and grabbed some of the feathers, and she realized that they were ice and snow. And so that made me think, wow, it's not the object at the end, it's the journey. It's the journey getting up there, the quest for something that fascinates you, something that makes you curious and excited, you know? And the journey can be very hard. I knew how hard running up all the way up there would be. She had to have she had to be very, very strong and motivated. So then what the people were intending with the story was simply to explain that every time the the eagles wake up and shake their wings, it snows in the high mountain. So that's for the general population, what it was interesting for them. For me, like as a woman, as a girl, I can go for things that I find fascinating and that inspire my curiosity, and and I will appreciate the journey of that, you know. And I don't even know at the end if I'm gonna like it or not. Maybe, but I want to see. You know, she discovered that they were made of ice and snow, and that in itself is pretty cool.